What's up guys, welcome back to Dummy Tech Talks. I'm doing a computer build today. This will probably be a two-parter at least. I'm gonna build it today and then we'll get everything actually looking pretty within the next day or so. This is actually not my computer, this is a friend of mine's computer. She's actually built computers, didn't want to build this one. So I told her to build it, as long as I can record it for you guys. It's kind of it's a powerhouse, it's a beast. There's no way around that. We have this Antec DF700 Flux. It's the Dark League. Looks good, it's got great airflow. She's got extra fans we're gonna be throwing in there. It's gonna be absolutely fantastic. We have an X570 motherboard over here by ASRock that we're gonna pair with a Ryzen 9 5950X, the top dog on Ryzen right now. I know they'll be coming out with the AM5 platform soon, but she wanted it now and that's what she got. I absolutely love it. I wish I had one. 850 watt power supply, Dark Rock Pro 4 to cool that CPU because it does not come with a stock cooler. She included some thermal paste I guess I'll be using. The storage on this is going to be insane. She has two NVMe PCIe Gen 4 M.2s SSDs. She has two 2.5-inch SATA SSDs, each are a terabyte. She has two 4 terabyte hard drives. That brings all the storage, one of these is a 2 terabyte, one of these is a 1 terabyte, all the storage up to 13 terabytes of storage space. We're going to be putting 64 gigabytes of RAM in there with the expandability up to 128, which she's expressed that she might want to do that, so that's cool. These are two 32 gig sticks, DIMMs, and they will be going in there today. Some colors, LEDs, gotta have some RGB. There's something I've never used before. This is actually to prop a GPU up to make sure it's level. There's plenty of ways out there to do this. These are fairly easy. I've never done it, but I've seen it done, so we're gonna knock that out. I have done a video on an easy DIY fab part before. I'll put the video over here. It's a vertical mount for a GPU. That worked out pretty well on Trevor's computer. We have this Asia Horse fan. It's one piece, but it's actually 3 fans. So it's 3 120 millimeter fans. I believe it only bolts on with like 4 bolts, 1 on each corner. So like 2 over here, 2 over here. We will definitely be looking into this because this is kind of interesting. She wants this on the front, by the way. On this on the front, the fans that are in here, I'm gonna have to move to the top. And then it has something really cool that I've never heard of, reverse airflow fans. It has one of them in there. She wanted to get another one because it's compatible with 2. Unfortunately, she couldn't find the exact same one that was in there online anywhere, so she found a pack. So we will be replacing that one with one of these and putting in the other one. RGB, of course. So, like I said, today I'm really just going to be building it. I'm going to unbox the actual case, a couple other items, put the motherboard together with all the parts, mount the motherboard in the chassis and the power supply, and I'd like to do a test boot today because that's one thing she really wanted to make sure we got done in time in case she had to return something. With that being said, let's get into it. I'm excited about this. I love building computers. It's Travis proof. There we go. That looks awesome. That's what I mean by this one big fan. It's only 4 screws, so that's all it has. And it does have the screws for a radiator if you were putting a water cooling system in here and wanted that to be on your radiator. We are not doing that. That's the easiest I've ever installed 3 fans before. Looks nice. There. Looks good. I'll get to the rounding the cables here in a minute. Alright, so I was trying to figure out how I was going to attach these because these are not normal fan screw holes. I was going to grab the radiator screws from other fans like the Asia Horse one, and then I decided, you know what, let me look see what the case came with. Antec thought of that. They actually included 8 screws just for this. So thank you, Antec, for making this a whole lot easier. Alright, so I was going to put in these reverse fans, but I changed my mind for the time being. In fact, I had one in. The reason why I changed my mind is because I don't think I'll be able to get the motherboard in with the fans already in there. So I'm going to have to put the motherboard in and everything, and then I'll put these fans on. So they are still going to be in there, just later. I'm getting into the good part now, where we actually put stuff on the motherboard. This is the Wi-Fi model, so of course, Wi-Fi antenna. Some SATA cables. There it is. I love it. This is awesome. I got the CPU. "16 cores, 32 threads. It's a monster. That's in there. She will be using the stock heat sinks that came with the motherboard, these little things. There's actually a video that JS2Sense did comparing a bunch of different cooling techniques, even a water cooler with it. And obviously the water cooler did the best, but these are more than adequate. So that's what we're gonna go with. This is the 2 terabyte one. This will actually hold it down as well. Just yeah. The reason I put the 2 terabyte one up top is because that is where she wants her C drive to be. From what I've heard, the top one it's the closest to the CPU, so in theory it's the fastest, but it's all PCIe Gen 4, so they should all be very fast. This is great, I didn't have to use any of the M.2 hardware at all. CPU and NVMe's installed. RAM. DIMM slots 1 and 3 will be populated with 64 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. I think it's 3600 megahertz. Yep, 3600 megahertz. Awesome. Which Ryzen really likes. That's more RAM than I've ever put in a computer. Next we'll be installing this big old thing, the Rock Pro 4, the CPU cooler. It's a lot of hardware. Came with its own thermal paste. Came with a screwdriver. Perfect. I was wondering actually how long of a screwdriver I would need for this, because I know sometimes they are really long. You gotta get down inside the cooler part. So there is no pre-applied thermal paste, which is actually a good thing because that gives us an opportunity to use whatever we want. So I've got this TV here, we're going to use it as a monitor. Just do a quick test boot, make sure everything's registering. That's one thing that she really wanted to make sure happens, so that if she needs to, she can send it back or replace it or whatever has to happen. These are the expensive parts. These are the ones that would be very difficult to repurchase if they're bad. So we want to get in that return window. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. I've never seen a 3080 Ti. I have a 3070 in my computer upstairs, but it's not a reference card. It's not a Founders Edition card or anything like that. This one is a Founders Edition, and it is very exciting. It's a lot smaller than I thought it would be, to be completely honest. Here it is, and there, because it is straight from NVIDIA, it has the 12-pin power plug here. Wow, this thing's awesome. I'm gonna have to go get my 3070 and compare the two. I'll be right back. So I went and I got my 3070 EVGA XC3 Ultra whatever card, and they're actually very similar in size. I'll hold them up. So here's the back plates of both of them. They're very similar in size. The 3080 Ti is way heavier though. My gosh. And here is what most people would call the front, I suppose. That faces the bottom of the case. So it only has the two fans, but it has the design where the heat pipes come all the way through the side here, and then this fan is pulling air through. So it's got incredible cooling. That's awesome. Alright, so I have everything plugged in. Power supply is plugged in, TV is obviously on. We're using an HDMI cord for this test. There is a power button on the board, so I don't have to worry about hitting the pins properly or anything like that. I just hit the button. We're good to go. It might even turn on when I flip this switch. Let's find out. Oh, but the RGB came on. That's cool. Oh, you know what? It tells me what to do. Oh, there. I figured it out. Alright, cool. So, everything's working. Here's the BIOS. That's great. Processor, AMD Ryzen 9 5900X 16 core. That's amazing. That's going to have to do it for this video. I'm running out of time. I had to do this, make sure everything works. So we did a test boot. We've done a test boot. Everything is working. GPU's obviously showing the signal. It's perfect. It's an awesome card right here. The power supply is obviously working. The CPU's working and showing up. Motherboard is clearly working, no issues from what I can tell. So this way we don't have to worry about trying to get another GPU or CPU or motherboard at a moment's notice to try to complete this project. If you guys like this video, please hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell so you don't miss future content that we release. And share, as Trevor likes to say. It does help us. It really, really does. Please share our videos. It's really cool. Don't forget to comment. Tell us what you want to see. Tell us what you think we can do better. Things like that. We do read them. Until next time.